Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another match preview where we are going to dissect Burnley taking on Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. We're obviously going to speak about the last game against Tottenham, which curtailed quite a tough month, really, of January. But we did what we needed to do. Personally, I think it's solid when you look back on all three games, minus the FA Cup fixture. But as usual, Dan is here as well as Joey. Dan, how are you, mate?
Well, good, mate. Thank you. You're looking very serious tonight, Daniel.
It's the headache. I just want to go to bed. Joey, different time zone, different country. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm not long in from training, so I'm a bit fresh, to be honest with you. I'll catch up with you as well.
It's right, mate. You're the freshest looking bugger on this podcast anyway, let me tell you that. But people are in the chat already. Baxy's in, says, evening, lass. Cheers, mate. And then lads. There we go. Cheers, Baxy. But yeah, it should be an interesting one, this. There's quite a lot to dissect. Lots happened today in terms of transfers, especially outgoings. Dan's got some mad stats from a financial perspective, which I'm sure a lot of you Clarets will be interested to hear. And obviously, Joey is just Joey. But no, Dan, I'll come to you first. It's January. It's been an interesting month. You saw the fixtures: United, Liverpool, and Spurs. Happy with the outcomes of what we've got from all three?
Yeah, I think it's like we've all said. You can't go wrong, can you? 3 points off of those three teams. I don't care whether people think Tottenham are rubbish, and they were pretty shit. Let's be honest. But and Man United came off the end of a bad few years. Blah blah blah. But you still take a point. Man United, Liverpool, and Spurs any day. But like I said in my after-match reaction, it's just bittersweet, isn't it? Really bittersweet. We needed these 3 points at the start of the season against these teams, not now, really.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap opening up at the bottom end of the table, but if you put that to one side, Joey, look at how close we were to securing all 3 points against Spurs. Would you say, based off last month, this has got to G up the players going forward in these next 4 months?
Yeah, I'd have thought so. But for last-minute goals, and not only in our games, but other games as well, the results haven't gone for us. The 3 points that we've got, we could have been effectively 7 points adrift instead of the 10 that we are. And it looks a different table then. But yeah, it's got to give you confidence. They played well. They've shown passion, they've shown fight. We can't really complain, to be honest with you. It's just disappointing that teams around us have picked up points despite us playing so well and getting the points that we'd have taken beforehand, definitely.
100%. Dan, the Spurs game itself then, obviously you gave us your thoughts at the end of the game, but give us a brief summary of what you thought of the game.
Well, pretty much like I said, for anybody that saw the reaction, I mean, I enjoyed the game. We tried to play some football. They tried to play some football. It was here, there, and everywhere. It was scrappy. It was maybe a bit old-fashioned, really, like it often can be between Spurs and Burnley. We rattled them, but also we rode our luck. Yet again, we put ourselves under some tremendous pressure. But I'm trying to take positives from it, and ultimately, we scored 2 goals. We put ourselves in front for the first time in God knows how long. I can't remember. And yeah, I mean, it sounds funny. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it, which is the first time I've been at Turf and enjoyed a match in quite a while. But obviously, just came away. But it's nice to come away feeling upset in a way that we drew against Spurs, isn't it? In a way, But I didn't think we did too bad, boys. Joe's going to disagree with me because, as he did on Sunday, he's going to whine the hell out of my thoughts on that. But Yeah, I'll get you back for that one day, boy.
Joey's been dangling a carrot. He's been dangling a carrot for Dan for the last couple of days. It's been fucking hilarious in the group chat. But Joey, was there any players that you didn't think really was up to the task against Spurs?
All of them. No, I'm joking. No, I mean, to be fair, we played well. It were, like Dan said, it were a good entertaining game. It were, especially for a neutral, end to end. I enjoyed what I saw of it, although it was working, but I managed to catch pretty much most of the second half. It was
the important bit
good.
then.
Well, no, because I saw the highlights afterwards, so I did miss something first half. But Dubravka was absolutely outstanding all game. He made some absolutely top class saves. And like you said, Dan said, we got the 2 goals and we got our noses in front. The 2 goals were very good goals as well.
Mm.
They weren't crappy tap-ins, to be fair. Although Jadon Anthony tried his best to cock his pass up to Foster and try playing it 6 feet in front of him.
I tell you what, he's done well there. He's absolutely near enough made Mickey van der Ven do the splits. He sent him one way, sent him back the other.
Yeah.
And, he sent him to the shop. He's come back. He's got the wrong milk. He sent him back. And then he's just played Foster. I mean, fair play to him for that. To have even the bollocks to do that on the edge of the box. If I had to grumble at one player, I would have said Florentino was a little bit disappointing. I think he started that game really poorly. Every pass, he sort of just didn't read it quite well. But then again, I don't know whether that's just a case of it was the start of the game, a few pre-match jitters sort of thing, and then eventually as the game, gets underway, it sort of filters out of the system. But that was only my only bugbear. I thought Foster coming on was a good substitution. I actually thought Parker got his substitutions right.
I agree with you. I think I thought genuinely he got it spot on. He made the right subs at the right time. I know I've complained quite a few times about his changes and when he chooses to make them, but even sat watching the game, I was thinking, this is what I'd do, and I'm not saying it's right because I said it, but it is. But no, I thought Parker did well. I agree with you.
And Dan, it's the teams around us, isn't it? That now we're watching over our shoulder. They're starting to pick points up. Are you, or have you already accepted that fate's already sealed for us, or are we going to try and give it one final push?
I think that's 2 separate things, isn't it? I think we're going to give it everything we've got. I think we seem to be, for those of us that have already watched the Keeping the Faith today, I genuinely do watch and believe that these lads are trying to stay up and not get down, that they're trying to, keep working hard and keep pushing. And that includes, I have to say it, Parker and his staff. They're trying. They're definitely trying. And things are starting to work, but it's too late. And I think the difference is, I watched the West Ham game. I watched the West Ham game in the fan zone before. West Ham absolutely mullered Sunderland. They made Sunderland look bang average, and Sunderland are not bang average. Not so far over this amount of the season. And yet West Ham are meant to be third from bottom. Boys, they made us look like absolute amateurs, and they're only a place above us. And I think that's the worrying thing. I think you've got 2 squads in West Ham and Nottingham Forest that are not relegation squads. They've maybe had a really crap first half. They've changed a manager, whatever else going on. But the boys that are playing there are not our lads that have come up to the Premier League and are trying to still learn how to play in the Premier League. And I think that's, to me, that's the difference. So, yeah, we're going to push and we're going to fight. And my God, would it be the most unbelievable story, if we survive on the last day against Wolves with a James Ward-Prowse free kick, fantastic. But realistically, are West Ham looking like they're going to fail are Notts Forest. I mean, they're the two that are going to fight for that third. We're not. I just don't think we'll get close.
I wouldn't rule Palace out.
No.
I'll give you that. And all it takes is, 6 losses and us to pick up some, and somebody's in a lot of trouble, and it's not the time to go on a run now, is it? A bad run now,
If you look at it another way, if we get 2 wins and Forest don't pick up any points, let's say we win our next 2 games and Forest don't, it looks completely different then. We're only 4 points behind and they've got squeaky bums. The mentality changes so much.
Well, I don't disagree. With that, but do we see 2 wins at the moment? Do we see 2 wins? We're getting close.
I think we deserve them. I think, and you can only play what's in front of you. We normally get it the other way around, where teams are just coming into form and then we play them. Okay, we had Man United and Liverpool where it was the opposite way, and we'll take it. You can only play what's in front of you, and I think we have played well. Spurs, we were unlucky not to win. Genuinely. Forget how bad people say Spurs were. You can only play what's in front of you. So Sunderland, like you say, West Ham made Sunderland look ordinary. There's nothing to say we won't make Sunderland look ordinary.
I liked Dan's analysis of the Spurs game. Spurs were fast shit. Oh, it was Dan's dad, actually. Spurs were fast shit. And Burnley was slow shit. Mac, evening in the chat. Hope you're well. You said there, Dan, obviously it'd be nice against Wolves final day, James Ward-Prowse. What have you made of that signing? And again, for West Ham to even allow that to happen, again, transferring a player from one relegation candidate to another.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, first of all, I think it's a absolutely brilliant signing. I just wish we'd made it 2 weeks ago. But look, I'm positive, and it's the 29th and we've done it. We've done it before. Big game coming up, because it is a big game coming up. Every game's a big game. Yeah. So, from the point of view of who he is, what he can give us, what he can offer, I'm excited, absolutely. Great signing. But at the same time, intriguing, because why did West Ham give him up now? I know he's fell out with Nuno, but he was on the bench against Sunderland, which is a first. But also, why is there no agreement about a possible purchase if, for instance, we stayed up or whatever, and we're led to believe it's purely a loan and we want him back, which, it's interesting, isn't it? But never going to complain about having that quality of player pop in for the last 4 months.
Yeah, definitely. Joey, James Ward-Prowse's stats are something else. From what I last looked at, he's not played since September, and yet he still holds all the highest stats for West Ham. And this is a team that has just come into form at the right time for them. It's clear to see, like Dan said, it's an issue between the player and Nuno, the manager. But what can Burnley fans expect from James Ward-Prowse? Not just set-piece deliveries. Do you think he will fill that Josh Cullen role of helping to orchestrate that midfield?
Yeah, it's what I'd expect, to be honest with you. I'd expect him to take the Josh Cullen role up, giving Florentine always a bit more freedom himself to pick a pass as well. But, like you said, James, his set piece is second to just David Beckham, I believe. So that's not a bad
away. I think he's 1 free kick away. One Premier League free kick
equaling David 18 goals, is it? So let's not put too much pressure on and expect him every time he gets a free kick to be running it back at net.
There's no such thing as too much pressure, mate. That's Hannibal and Brozier dropping like a sack of shit every match day. That's what that is.
Get Barnes on with 20 minutes to go, as I always say. He'll win you a couple of cheap free kicks. But no, it's a positive signing, definitely. He's got bags of Premier League experience. I think he'll slot in nicely as well. And just a little uplift in dressing room as well.
Yeah, I think I liked what he said when he came in. That obviously had spoken to ex-lads that he played with. Like you said, Jay Rodriguez, Jack Cork, Danny Ings as well. He said, and all of them have had very good careers with Burnley, and obviously Jack Cork's still here with us on the coaching staff now. It's it's good that we've got those caliber of people behind the scenes now, as well as they've obviously progressed or whatever, to still be able to just phone up and go, I'm potentially coming to Burnley. What do you think? And these players are still giving us, a good rapport from what they've had. That can only bode us well for the future. Obviously, nothing at the moment, Clarets fans, is out there to say that we are going to sign anybody else. I think the only other link I've heard is the Doumbia, the striker at Watford, 19-year-old. That's the only other link.
But we've got THP.
Oh yeah, sorry, Harwood Bellis. Yeah,
he's been linked.
20 million I last saw.
I just can't see that happening. I can't see that happening. Unless someone like Ekdal.
I'm quite surprised at the high amount of wages we're paying on Ward-Prowse, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Bad Girl Rebels in there. So seen you after the Liverpool game, Dan. Long time no see, Joey lad.
Hello.
He's now thinking, who's Bad Girl Rebel?
Yeah, I certainly am.
And Max says Ward-Prowse and Beckham in the same sentence. Yeah, nobody thought that would be the case, especially when he's got his ties to Preston. But no, Ward-Prowse. Ward-Prowse 1 free kick away from matching David Beckham's free kick record. 3 gone though, Joey. The latest being Manuel Benson on a permanent to McCarby. Yeah, should have done my research, Daniel. McCarby.
Hayafi.
Yeah.
Hayfi.
Them.
Maccabi Haifa.
Them lot. To be fair, it screams a good move for him. He wasn't happy at Swansea. He wasn't getting the game time at Burnley, but just sum Manuel Benson up as a player. The goals he scored for Burnley have been ones that have been pivotal in games, haven't they?
Yeah. The goals he scored in Championship towards the back end of the season, and obviously the one he scored at Ewood, he's going to go down in folklore for, isn't he? Cracking player, but just made out of glass. If it is Maccabi Haifa that he's gone to, that you two were trying to say, it's definitely a good move for him. Definitely. But,
showing off now with your pronunciation. Just because flaming Ireland's got weird names. Oh, I've learned how to pronounce things.
I'm Northern Ireland. It's not that weird.
Showing off. I mean, Baxy's put in the chat there as well. It's a brilliant signing in regards to James Ward-Prowse. The creativity that he can bring in, what we are missing, hopefully. Every ball he plays just goes forward. Plus, the wages are split. From what I read, he is on 125 grand a week at West Ham. We are willing to pay 70% of that. So only West Ham are covering 37,500 every week. Which tells me we've got money for wages. So Raheem Sterling's been released on a free. Good friends with Kyle Walker. Just putting the 2 and 2 together. If anybody's listening at the football club, it would be nice for maybe something else in the pipeline. A transfer deadline day shake-up, shall we say. But that'd be interesting. But yeah, Manuel Benson, Dan, what can you say about him?
Just the same as Joey. I mean, he gave us some spectacular goals, and in the last few years, that season where we just let's be honest, at times just screamed in disbelief at what he'd just done again, and then the second time, and then the third time, and he just was
ball game running, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
he did it about 6 games in a row, weren't it? Something like that.
Yeah, somewhat stupid, but he was. Unfortunately, I just don't think he was ever going to grow with us. He was never going to manage Premier League, I don't think. And so, I would agree. I think it's a good move. It's a good climate, and that will make a difference for him. I genuinely believe that, somewhere that's a bit warmer. And I don't know what the standard of football's like, but he'll get European out there, won't he? Do they play European still?
Yeah.
So... a good move for him. He'll keep his international career going, and I'm pleased for him, and hope he does well. Definitely.
He put a post out saying it's not goodbye, it's just the end of a chapter. So who knows? He could come back Probably not in a playing capacity, but I'm sure he'll come back and watch a game or something like that. Jayden Burnell is obviously a youngster we sent out, scored against Millwall. I thought he actually played pretty well. Gone to Derby, John Eustace. Good move, do you reckon, Joey, for him, for the youngster?
Yeah, I think it is a good move for him. He should hopefully get a decent amount of playing time, and it's a decent level as well as the Championship. So, yeah, definitely a good move for him. He's not going to be playing Premier League football, let's be honest. So get him out there playing as high a level as possible. And if we are in the Championship next season and he's still about, he's acclimatised, isn't he? So, yeah, it's definitely positive for him on a personal note.
I didn't think of it like that, actually, that, you know, if we do come down, we can see what he's capable of in the Championship at that level. So, yeah, fair shout, mate. Fair shout. John's in the chat and said, I've made it. I had the notification on, but it didn't go off. So I was just left there watching Avril Lavigne. Well, not wrong with that. There's worse people to be watching. You could have been watching Jeremy Beadle or something like that. Even Zoe's late to the party.
She's in.
Late to the party. Better late than never and all that.
Evening, babe.
She must have heard our earlier comment.
That's why she's late. That's quick up.
Max is Sterling ain't coming up north. He wants to stay down south. He could end up.
He quite enjoyed his time at City.
Yeah, and Liverpool.
Yeah, he's quite fond of the north.
Yeah.
I could
understand the Fulham move. The Fulham move I could understand after they've just sold Adama Traore. So
yeah,
you know, that's one that could play out quite nicely for him. He stays in the London area. The interesting one though, Dan, for me, it's Efe, Joey. I'm guessing it's Efe.
It's Effie Joey on wife's YouTube account. Okay. No.
No. More clues. More clues. John says, I have your first like to video. Let's get more. Yeah, let's hope we can push the likes on the video as well. Family's settled in London, though. Yeah, fair point. The interesting one out of the three, though, that I was surprised at, to say that Connor Roberts is still not back from injury yet. And your only other right back, you've now shipped out on loan to Slavia Prague. Oliver Son out the building. I mean, a bit of a weird one, Dan.
Very weird. I'd completely lost. We're still in the cup, which means we need a right back to play in the cup. So unless there's a youngster, a lad that we don't know about, or we obviously know he's there, but he's not been on the first team radar. What we're going to do, play Carl Walker, which, fine. I mean, Carl Walker against Mansfield, he'll love it. But, you know, if we actually went on a run, that's more games for Carl Walker. Just does seem a little bit daft and a bit of a risk because, you know, play Carl Walker against Mansfield and he gets crocked. Then what do we do? I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me at all. Unless if they got a right back coming in, you know, look, there's still a few days.
Well, you'd expect it to be fair.
It is actually Monday night, isn't it? Monday night after the Sunderland game.
Yeah.
So, you know, look, we always do business late and business just happened quickly. Remember with James Ward-Prowse, we were reliably told by our local press that it was now not going to happen. And then 24 hours later, boom, we've signed him. So it doesn't take us long, does it? We can get a player in when the wheels work. So let's wait and see. So that's all we can think. I don't see any other reason to send him out if we haven't come up with a plan. I just don't.
No, because I know there were a lot of murmurs about Ekdal apparently going, and then obviously the rumours about THB coming in. But then even when I saw that, I was a bit like, okay, is that even going to work? You know what we are like in that sense, because we don't really deal well with Southampton transfer-wise, especially after the Teller saga and stuff. Max says, yeah, I don't understand why we've done that with Son. 0 sense. But then Parker's in charge, so nothing makes sense. And then BGR says, Stoops back at day. We like family in a way.
Effie, it's Effie. Oh, Effie, not Effie. It's Effie. It's got to be. It's got to be. Oh, that is a blast. Definitely, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Tarver Avenue. Yeah, it's basically my cousin, to be honest with you.
and we've had to play fucking guess who. Does your cousin wear glasses? No.
Hang on, I might not have it right. Yeah, I could be thinking of someone else. Our family reunited. I said
Best
last
thing
time.
about this, if you're listening or watching, we're having a live game of Guess Who with people in the chat and and talking about why Son's been shipped out and we ain't got a replacement right back. I feel like Steve Bracknell. Honestly.
Bagsy not being winner.
You can't be, Joe. You've gone teetotal now. You're not in Nag's Head anymore, are you?
No. I won't be going down Royal Oak either.
So, boys, Sunderland, the only team in the Premier League to not lose at home.
Yet.
Says you got it right as well, Joey.
Get in. Good to see you. Very friendly, pal. I hope you're well.
10 points to Gryffindor.
Really happy as well.
How do you think we're gonna? This one's gonna pan out. You've got some quite interesting stats, Dan, for what fans have been saying. Probably what excuses they're probably going to use if we do get beat. In terms of, well, they've been allowed to spend this, that, and the other. Dan, away you go, pissing off more of our fan base. Fire away.
Well, no, it's a whole podcast in itself, isn't it? The whole financial stuff. But let's be honest, I think most of us, and there's been different rumours around about, well, Sunderland have spent £200 million, and that's because, they've been in the Championship, so they're not under the same restraints as we are and all the rest of it. But actually, when you look into it, and I'm not talking, some of the dodgy links that we get on some of the Burnley websites, I'm talking proper PSR watch sites and independent regulators, etc. We had over double the financial fair play ability in the summer compared to Sunderland. What Sunderland have done is they've basically used the amelioration of fees and wages. So this is another thing I didn't understand for some of the fans that Burnley have been really good at. And the reason that all of a sudden Burnley started giving out 5-year contracts instead of 3 or whatever is because the cost is spread over the years of the contract. So if you buy a £50 million player over 5 years, you've only used 10 million a year against your fair play. Sunderland have been quite cute. They've probably pushed it a little bit, but with the new financial regulations coming in next year, they've not pushed it at all because, they stay up and they're a big enough club to deal with the new regulations. So I just found it really interesting. I think the biggest take from it all is that we didn't spend in the summer and we could have spent in the summer. And that's the thing that I can't understand now and I can't get over. We could have gone out and spent double what they spent if we'd wanted to. And we didn't spend it. And before anybody says we don't have it, Sunderland don't have it in the bank balance. Pretty much no football club has it in their bank balance. They finance it, they fund it. That's what football is. And we know that we've got the might to do that. We've taken Dave Checker, haven't we, through ALK this year. Mm-hmm. We've spoke about that before. Will half go to Espanyol, half to us? Will it all go to Espanyol? Will it? Who knows? But there's money there, and we haven't spent it, and I find that intriguing. But also, I also find it intriguing that Sunderland spent a lot on wages, nearly double our wage bill.
Really?
So again, we sometimes wonder, don't we, why have we, it's the 29th of January, why have we got one loan in? Why have we not put some money out there and shown that we want to do business? We don't pay the wages, boys, as we were just saying about James Ward-Prowse and accepting 37% or whatever it is, 37 grand a week off West Ham in effect. So yeah, I just found it interesting. So Sunderland have done well. They've recruited well. And they have people forget that they had a couple of big sells in the Championship. Bellingham. They sold Job, didn't they? Bellingham got some good money in. That's just one example. So, yeah, I just thought it was interesting, boys. We're playing a team that a lot of people are saying, we're 20 points behind us last season. And, how could they just come to the Premiership when they weren't ready for it and spend 200 million quid? Well, that's how.
It is quite interesting when you break it down like that. I mean, Evis said 2-1 Burnley, I'll be there, so might just be hope. It's the hope that kills you. That's the problem. And Max says, I'm tempted to go to the game, but last time I went to their gaff, we got played off the park, so it might be best for me not to go. Bit like Chelsea, 7, 8, 9-year contracts to spread the cost.
Yeah.
It does now put things into perspective when you think of it like that. Especially when you see how many youngsters they have on their wage bill and ship out.
Yeah. And remember, was it Haaland got a 10-year contract last year, was it?
Yeah.
And everybody was like, how can you give him a 10-year contract? Well, it's quite simple, because under the current regulations, although that's a bit odd because they're all about to change, but under the current regulations, Haaland was costing Man City nothing. Not in reality, not over 10 years.
No.
And of course, it doesn't count because you're going to sell the player. So it's probably another reason why we were all in shock at what's his face at Liverpool getting a 5-year contract last year when all they thought he was going to leave. What's his name?
Salah.
Egyptian.
Salah.
Yeah, Mo Salah. All of a sudden, when it looks like he's going to leave and he's getting on a bit, they give him a 5-year contract. For what reason? Well, that's why they've just spread his wages and his cost over 5 years, and meanwhile they'll sell him in 1 or 2. Not a problem.
Definitely, a player in contract's worth more in the transfer market than a player out of contract. I'd imagine. That's what I always say. If you've got a player coming down to the last 12 months, rather than allowing them to go for free, it's let's just value the player at 10 million. Say to that player, sign a 2-year extension, we'll give you 3 million. You're still going to sell him for 10 anyway, rather than go for nothing.
No, that's true. John says in the chat, he says, I heard you say Son has gone out on loan. Does that mean Roberts is back soon? You'd like to hope so, to say we've sent Son out on loan, Sharande Sambo out on loan, and all we've got is Kyle Walker. Now, I know we've played like 3 at the back and pushed Walker forward into like a midfield sort of pack.
Maybe that's why we've found James Ward-Prowse. He could play right back.
Yeah, why not? But no, Max, there, it is a mystery. It is an absolute mystery on the right back situation. To be fair to those that are going Sunderland, enjoy it. I actually quite enjoy going to the
great player. Yeah, I enjoy Sunderland.
It is. It's like out it sticks, but it's like it's such a nice place to go to. Every Sunderland fan I've ever met has been genuine. They've been so nice.
Good crack. Very much like ourselves, aren't they? To be fair.
Yeah. They don't take it too seriously unless it's against Newcastle. But obviously, the last time I went was under company. I wanted to leave at half time, 2-0 down. I'm like, get me back in that fucking Wetherspoons. I've had enough. Don't want to be here. This is shit. And then second half, I'm bouncing around like a fucking newborn. And I'm just flipping everywhere. My glasses got smashed. I had to get them repaired and everything. It was just, what a day out. It's just that I think that's what you love about football, isn't it? That you can go from heartache to just absolutely in love again within a matter of seconds, minutes. And it's just those emotions that take you. I'm probably going to have a heart attack at some point because of football, but those overriding emotions is just something else. It is going to be a tough game, though, isn't it, Joey? Like I say, we're not coming up against a team that, at the start of the season, we all pretty much wrote off.
Yeah. We're not coming up against a championship team, let's be honest. But, they have had some good results. They've been stuttering of late, so there's no reason why we can't go there and take the game to them, treat it like a home game. What we did against Spurs that I saw well was a high press that we've not seen for quite a while, and they kept the high press, or they tried to keep the high press. If we can do that against Sunderland and push them back, there's no reason why we can't get all 3 points there. I wouldn't be going to try and play for a draw, that's for sure.
No, that Spurs game was interesting. The one game you should have run to the corner flag, you didn't. But hey, it happens. Dan, I'll come to you with Mac's comment, actually. He says, do you think we have any chance of overturning that 10-point deficit or whatever it is now? Your face is more like a Les Dennis. Our survey said.
Yeah. Any chance, Mac? Do I think we have any chance? Yes. Do I think we have a good chance? No. But do I think we have any chance? Yeah, absolutely. No exactly. Yeah, there's a chance, but like we said earlier, the other teams don't look like they're gonna, drop out or lose anytime soon, do they? So we'll just have to see. We need somebody to, I don't know, jump Deitch to a festival or something, and put him out of action for a few weeks.
Might take a few blocks to do that.
Yeah, I'm not condoning violence against Deitch. I'm thinking more like in the mosh pit, accidentally, breaking a leg or something.
Sending a couple of big steaded rugby lads.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just going back to what Joey was saying. I mean, watching West Ham play them last weekend was exactly what West Ham did. I mean, they did not give them a minute's rest. They shocked them from the first minute to the last. They were, and this is the only thing I would say, West Ham were quick. They didn't mess around. They were quick. And they were, every time Sunderland had the ball, West Ham were just 3-on-1 man, bang. And they'd lost the ball. But then they were quick to move it. And this is something we've said all season with Burnley. We're not quick. But yeah, definitely got to press them, high press, get at them, get into them, right into their feet, make it uncomfortable, and yeah, just see what happens. You can't, like we said before, as long as you try.
Yeah, we've beaten once already this year, so it's not out of the question. John says, is it the last time that we played them last season? We lost 4-2. I'm not entirely sure. I think the results from last year, I think I've been so pissed off about this season that I've completely forgot about the championship season because I've just been in that fit of rage, but I'm not entirely sure. Probably. And Dirks, we have chatted already about WP. And yeah, he's, the general consensus is as Burnley fans, we are very happy with that signing. And with the fact that 3 have gone today, hopefully that means that there's going to be 1 or 2 more coming in, because I know Son was in the 25.
Yeah.
So there's a position there. Obviously, JWP comes in for Cullen's position.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm sure. I think there's still 1 more.
Yeah. So you've got
Bannell in the 25 squad.
Who?
I was chatting.
Jayden Bannell, was he in the 25-man squad?
Yes, but I'm not sure whether he came under
his age.
Yeah,
he was young.
Yeah.
But when I had a look the other week, Bayer is in the 25. So unless you're telling me that he's going to suddenly make some amazing comeback,
I suppose you could make a decision, couldn't you?
So you've got Bayer, you've got Cullen, you've got Roberts, but again, we don't know about Roberts. I mean, I guess maybe they're thinking these long-term injured, even if they only get to play the last 2 or 3 games, it's important for their recovery. So maybe we have to keep them in, But Benson wasn't, and who else have we got rid of? Any of the other moves haven't. So I think we've only made.
I think with them allowing Tom to go, I would imagine they would have somebody lined up. I would have thought so, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I can't see them purposely leaving themselves short at right back. Just can't see it.
I just don't get it, though. It really is a strange one. I just don't understand where it has come from that you would even make that sort of judgment. Rich is in the chat. Hope you're well, mate. He says 1 week till Jake opens his wallet, Dan. Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you two. I think it's going to be an absolute blast before the West Ham game. So looking forward to meeting up and catching up. But yeah, Jake opened his wallet. Whoever thought you'd see the day? That's only because he knows how cheap it is in Burnley compared to Southampton or London. So that's the only reason why. But do we even know, Rich, you might know better than us as a West Ham fan, is it included in the clause that Ward-Prowse can play against you?
No.
Because it can be added in, can't it? It can be added in, but I don't think...
Not read anywhere that it's added in. I think it's standard that they
No.
can't play against parent club. In fact, is it not even Premier League rules that you can't play against your parent club?
Could potentially be. I'm sure we've seen one or two actually play.
Well, maybe it is possible, but I've not read anywhere that he'd be able to play against them. Not to say that it doesn't happen or isn't happening.
No, true. And John says, can we get Callum Wilson? I don't think we're going to get Callum Wilson either. I think obviously he's come back in. No, he says not sure. But I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that game, Rich. Can't wait. I know he's already got his parking space sorted. I'm going to meet up. So should be fun. Evening, Scott, as well in the chat, and evening to everybody listening as well. Let's get into the nitty gritty then. Dan, your prediction. What are you saying?
So stat wise, Sunderland have got the history on us for more wins and so on. They've been one of those sides, but in the Premier League, we've actually beat them more than they've beat us. At the same time, they're away. When they're at home, they tend to get the result, whereas we tend to do them at Turf Moor. I'm going to go for a 2-1. I do sort of feel like our luck has got to just suddenly flip and keep the faith. Alluded to that today, don't they? If you keep doing the right things, if you keep the right shape, and we seem to be getting better at that. Honestly, I do think JWP is going to make a huge difference in the middle. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Burnley. Why not?
Why not? Scott says 2-2 in the chat as well. Dan's gone for 2-1. And Vic says in the chat, nice to see you. Vic says, we lost 1-0 to Sunderland and drew 0-0 at the Turf. Yes, I do remember now that Trafford doubles penalty save.
Penalties. Yeah.
Yeah. So, John, you're 4-2. 4-2 loss. I can't remember one of them because we won 4-2 back at the stadium a lot. But he says if we can't get anyone for registration rules, then by the rules we can get under 21s unregistered. Any ideas? I don't know how that works. Whether it still has to, because you've loaned them from a club, do they have to be included in your 25? I'm not entirely sure. But there'll be there's always little loopholes with the Premier League and stuff like that.
I suppose he could probably be recalled as well, couldn't he?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, if he does well.
If we need to, should we need not get cover and we need cover, it could be recalled and added to the squad, I believe.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. Effie says 2-1.
Get that.
Solid. And John says, yeah, loans have to be registered. So, fair shout. Joey, your prediction, how do you think we'll fare at the stadium a lot?
I'm going for a 3-2 win. I was tossing up and debating between two apiece, and
I tell you what, you were tossing something to come up with that one.
Yeah.
3.
Even Curtis started. Fuck me.
There's goals in the game. There's definitely goals in the game. I think I just see us conceding 2, but I do think we're going to edge it. So yeah, 3-2 win.
Oh, happy days. I mean, I think this has got a 1 apiece written all. I've got that Brentford game in my mind. When we were away at Brentford, I know it was just that game sort of we're so edgy in those final minutes. I just feel it's going to be one of those games. 2 teams trying to cancel each other out. None of them want to lose. And then it's just, someone opens the scoring, but it's like, you're not having that for long. We'll get back into it by pegging you back. And I'm going to go on the fence and say a 1-1, another draw. Not good enough, but again, any point on the road is probably a plus. I think for me, it's the matter of how you get that point. I think that's what Burnley fans are more annoyed at. If if it looks like the game's there for the taking and we just look like we've strolled up there looking for a point, fans will be very much disappointed. Scott also says, can you recall Ramsey? I think we could recall Aaron Ramsey if we wanted to, but I don't think we are going to, though. I think because we've already got quite a bulky squad, we want players out on loan to see where they're at. You know, Ramsey had that long-term injury. It'd be good to see him getting the minutes. Obviously, I know he fell to an injury at your place and it's sort of come back again. John says he's got a bit of advice for me. We need a win, so let's hope for a win. Taking your advice on board. I hope Scott Parker does the same, John. You know, and we'll all live in peace and harmony. But Max says either way, it needs to be 3 points. Won't stay up with draws. Got to get a win somehow.
True. This is true.
It's that West Ham game at Turf Moor for me that screams that we need to be beating you. You know, anything less than a win in that West Ham game, for me, spells curtains. I think that, for me, cements it.
We've got both, haven't we? West Ham and Forest still to play.
Yeah.
You know, that's certainly going to help, isn't it? But to me, it's down to other teams to lose, even if we beat West Ham and even if we beat Forest, you know? And that's what worries me. And let's remember, Sunderland are going to... I don't think Sunderland are going to play us on Monday night thinking, oh, just don't lose. I think they're going to be wounded after West Ham. I think they're going to come out and they're going to want to show everybody that it was a blip, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Max says we win Monday. That should be massive confidence boost in prep for West Ham. Yeah, I'd like to think so. But time will tell. Let's hope that that's going to be the case. Who knows who's going to come in by that point? You know, Scott says, I genuinely believe Ramsey won't get much game time while at Leicester due to Burnley he's injured, but we have youngsters breaking through to the attacking options. Tomato, we shall see. But again, we shall see when it comes to the football itself. Keep with us on this channel. We will be doing a live watch along of the game Monday night. So I'll be taking you through the game as it happens. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing an absolute, I never thought I'd say these 3 words in the same sentence, a Scott Parker masterclass.
Silence. The sound of silence.
I'm looking into the tea leaves.
Yeah, which are empty and not there. Yeah.
And for some reason, all they're going is they're giving me a finger and just going, yeah, good luck, mate. Who told you that? Because I certainly didn't. No, thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I really do appreciate everyone giving up your time as well. Effie says, I'd be happy if we lose trying to win at least. And Scott says, hopefully Burnley stay up. Generally want you guys to do well. Well, if not, Scott, at least we'll be able to play Leicester twice next season. Chris will be happy with that. And Max says he doesn't have a masterclass in him. Well, there you go. That answers those questions. Thank you very much, as I say, for listening and watching. Give us your predictions in the chat, or if you're listening, just drop us a message. Let us know what you think. If there's anything you think we should add to these as well, our DMs are always open for all sorts of feedback, so please do let us know. But yeah, I guess until next time, Monday night, join us for the live watch along. And fingers crossed it's good news for the Clarets. Till then, take care. UTC. And the transfer window's not shut yet. So let's hope for some positivity. Take care, everyone. Bye.